Hello, this here is not a review, it's just me, an amateur of building plastic mech models, looking at a thing and talking about it. This is the master grade Phenex, also known as Unicorn Unit 3. It is chrome plated and then lacquered over that with yellow to make it look gold. It is my shiny gold disco ball Gundam. I am happy with it, I am proud of it. But I also kind of hate it a little bit because it was not kind to me. This thing was a pain in the butt to build for several reasons. The first reason, and yes, you're going to see reflections because again, it's chrome. So we don't need to focus on that too much. We can focus on the model itself. Number one, this is a unicorn. It is a transformable unicorn. And in universe, I'm just going to speak mostly to folks who don't know all that there is to know about unicorn or about Gundam in general, because I feel that most of the viewers of this channel are not Gundam experts, because if you're a Gundam expert, you don't want to be looking at me unless you specifically came here just to make fun of me, because I'm an amateur and I don't know everything. I will be learning stuff that you know, you masters out there who are watching this in spite of my warning, years from now. I get that. Okay, so just talking to folks more on my level, or maybe folks who just came in from the Lego side or even the old RC side, other hobbies that I'm known for. This in-universe is able to transform. All of the transparent blue that you see is what's called psycho frame. And all of that gets hidden. There are 3 Gundams that are very similar to this, just with different colors, mostly with different color schemes, that have a V fin up here on the head that will fold together to create a unicorn horn, and that's where the whole thing gets its unicorn name from. Well, that's part of the tie-in to it. And then here, starting from the top, the face, so the top of this opens up, the cheeks come off, the face actually folds up inside. There's a second face inside of this that rotates down. These are like locks out here. All of this rotates and squishes down. All this closes up. The torso gets shorter in length and narrower. Both. The arms get shorter after stuff folds up. All this closes up. The legs get significantly shorter as all of these gaps get closed up as well. All this stuff that's sticking out here, all that folds all together and it becomes a much neater, tighter package. The unicorn form of it. This is the destroy mode form of it, or also just the cool version of it. So that's one of the reasons that this is a pain in the butt to build, because you have all of those transformations, all that engineering is built in here. And as you build things, some of the parts are trying to transform themselves. They're trying to squish together. They're getting knocked out of alignment and things. Yeah, it just takes a little bit of extra dedication and dexterity to make all that work. But more importantly, this is a plated, chrome plated at that version of this thing. The first version is white, second version is dark blue, third version is chromed. When they designed this, it was never, there's a little bit of dust on there. You can see that. I will clean it. It's not that big of a deal. People call it a fingerprint magnet for obvious reasons, but it's easy to clean. Very easy to clean. Just use a alcohol lens cloth or something like that. But when this was designed, there was no idea that they would ever do a metallic coated version of it. And so the parts were not designed to have the connection points hidden. So you'll see like a little scar right there. You'll see a little scar right there. Things like that. Nub marks or cut marks on a more purpose designed kit that's supposed to be a metallic or coated color. They would have all those marks on the inside or behind, hidden, someplace where you wouldn't see them in the finished product. That's called undergating. The connection points are called gates, and so you put the gate underneath. It's a thing. I call this overgated. I do not think that's an official term, but I call this overgated because it has so many spots that have huge, chunky connection points or cut marks that are super visible at the end of the day. And because they're towards the front, and because this is chrome plated, it's not perfectly smooth surface. It's got some waviness to it. It's chrome, and then they put a transparent yellow over the top of it. If you do the normal thing, you're trying to be good, you cut a little bit away from the surface and then try to file it down or sand it down or cut it down, you're going to scratch the surface. You're going to mess up. You're going to make things worse rather than better. And so you have to be just bad enough, just wrong enough when you're making every single cut. And then maybe pray a little bit on top of that. First time I asked a Gundam expert, what do you do if you come upon one of these issues and something is super, super obvious? What do you do? The first answer, and it was not a sarcastic answer at all, was cry. You cry. There's nothing you can do unless you get into doing your own electroplating for each individual little bit, and it's not worth it at all. So I did what I could. And then I came back and I touched up some of the areas with some, well, I used silver paint and then put yellow over the top of it, mimicking the original process. And, well, from a distance, you don't see it. Up close like this, you see every single one. And that's painful and it's embarrassing, but it is what it is. And I'm happy to have this thing. I didn't put any of the decals on it because I didn't feel like it needed them. I felt like the decals would kind of make it look less like it did, even less like it did in the animations. And I think this is fine. This is putting its best face forward, literally and figuratively. It's in its destroy mode where everything is opened up and it's got some of that beautiful blue interior on display. It's got some of that triangulation, these long legs, and then these things on the back called armed armor DEs in that shape like that. It really works for me. And then this also comes with the standard weapons for unicorns, but this one doesn't use them because it doesn't need them because it uses those things on the back. In universe, this is based on the original kit, has, I believe, some Unit 2 or Banshee parts, and then it has just a couple sprues of its own that are unique to this. Most of the parts are reused. There you have it, my shiny golden disco ball unicorn. Once I get the top coat put on my Banshee or my Unit 2, I'll be able to show that, and you'll see just how different a more regular version of this, a non-plated version of it is. And then to complete the trio, I've got an original white one as well to build. I'm way behind on these videos, but yeah, I can't put a whole lot of emphasis on this channel here, but I will try to get caught up slowly over time. I also have a bunch more knives that need to be shown off as well and talked about. Yeah, a lot of content that's in the backlog. Haven't forgot about any of you. I will do my best. I'm doing my best, but I will try to make that best just a little bit better, at least every year to year. Thanks for watching. Talk to you again soon.